Welcome to 5-Minute Nerd, where we break down your favorite nerd culture in just 5 minutes. Today we're diving into the first book in the Dresden Files, Stormfront by Jim Butcher. Stormfront introduces us to Harry Dresden, a wizard living in modern-day Chicago. But Dresden isn't just any wizard. He's also a private investigator, the kind of guy you call when things get strange. His ad in the phone book reads, Harry Dresden, wizard, lost items found, paranormal investigations, consulting, advice, reasonable rates. He's the only wizard in town openly advertising his services to the public, and most people think he's a fraud. But he's the real deal, and that makes his life both dangerous and complicated. The story kicks off with Harry taking two cases at once. First, he's hired by a woman named Monica Sells to find her missing husband, Victor. At the same time, the Chicago Police Department calls him in as a consultant to help with a gruesome double murder. The victims, Jennifer Stanton and Tommy Tom, have had their hearts literally exploded out of their chests by what appears to be black magic. It's a nasty, bloody mess, and Detective Karen Murphy, head of the Special Investigations Unit, needs Dresden's help to figure out how it was done. Dresden quickly realizes he's dealing with a dark and powerful sorcerer, someone capable of using magic to kill in a brutal and dangerous way. The problem is, using magic to commit murder is strictly forbidden by the White Council, the governing body of wizards. And as it turns out, Harry's already on thin ice with the council due to his troubled past. In fact, he's being watched closely by Morgan, one of the council's wardens, who's just waiting for Harry to slip up so he can execute him for breaking the laws of magic. So now, not only does Harry have to find the killer, but he also has to prove his innocence before he's wrongly accused of committing the murders himself. As Harry investigates the case, he uncovers a web of dangerous criminal activity involving mob boss Johnny Marcone. Marcone doesn't like people interfering in his business, and he warns Dresden to stay out of his way. But Harry knows that Marcone may have valuable information about what's going on, so he can't just walk away. Meanwhile, the dark magic behind the murders is starting to take its toll on Harry. He's up against a force that is stronger and more ruthless than he expected. Things take a turn when Harry realizes that the missing husband, Victor Sells, is tied to the murders. Victor has been experimenting with black magic, tapping into dangerous and forbidden forces to enhance his own power. He's using a combination of drugs and rituals to fuel his magic, and he's the one responsible for the gruesome deaths. But Victor isn't working alone. He's been seduced by the allure of power, and he's become a pawn in a much larger game of magical politics and dark forces at play in the city. The final showdown takes place at Victor's lake house, where he's planning to perform a deadly ritual that will give him even more power. Harry, though exhausted and outgunned, goes toe-to-toe with Victor, battling not only the sorcerer but also the storm he's conjured to fuel his dark magic. It's a fight for survival, and Dresden uses every ounce of his magical skill as well as his wits to overcome Victor and destroy the magical artifact responsible for the killings. In the end, Harry saves the day, but not without taking a serious beating in the process. By the time the dust settles, Harry has managed to solve both cases, but at great personal cost. He's made some powerful enemies, both in the magical underworld and with the White Council. But he's also proven that he's a force to be reckoned with. The story ends with Harry back in his office, weary but resolute, ready for whatever supernatural challenge comes next. Stormfront sets the stage for what will become one of the most beloved urban fantasy series. It's a hard-boiled detective story mixed with magic, monsters, and plenty of action. As the series goes on, we'll see Harry Dresden grow as a character, taking on even more dangerous cases and uncovering deeper secrets about his own powers and the world he inhabits. And that wraps up today's episode of 5-Minute Nerd. Until next time, when we'll dive into another nerd culture favorite, keep nerding out. To keep getting nerd culture broken down in 5 minutes, don't forget to like and subscribe.